Airports are strange places, aren't they? For some people, they're full of excitement, honeymoons, reunions, new adventures. For others, they're full of tears, broken hearts, and long goodbyes. But what if an airport, this place of constant arrivals and departures, became the stage for love? A love so unexpected, so powerful, that it makes you wonder, was it fate, or just a fleeting moment that would haunt you forever? Stay with me, because this isn't just about missed flights. This is about two strangers and the kind of connection that makes you whisper, "Hey, why did this goodbye hurt so much?" It started with a delay. A boring, frustrating, nothing special flight delay. The lounge was crowded, coffee smelled burnt, and everyone looked half asleep and half annoyed. He was sitting by himself, scrolling through his phone, when she walked in. She carried a book in one hand, her carry-on in the other, and a nervous little smile that could light up even the gloomiest travel day. She looked around for a seat. Every chair was taken except the one across from him, and so, without much thought, she sat down. He glanced up just for a second. You know that feeling when you notice someone, and suddenly your heart trips over itself? Yeah, that. She opened her book, but he couldn't help stealing glances. Not in a creepy way, more like he was drawn, the way a tired traveler stares at a warm light. And then it happened. She caught him. Their eyes met. A tiny, shy smile flickered between them. Just like that, the noise of the airport seemed to fade. Now, let's be honest for a second. Who falls in love in an airport? Come on, isn't that just in movies? But sometimes life doesn't ask for permission. Sometimes love sneaks in when you least expect it, when your flight is canceled, your coffee is cold, and you're just trying to survive a Tuesday. Minutes passed. He noticed her bag had a little New York skyline keychain. He smiled and asked, "Headed home?" She laughed softly. "Kind of, if these flights ever stop being delayed." And just like that, a door opened. They started talking. First small talk, flights, books, travel headaches. Then deeper things, dreams, fears, stories they hadn't shared in years. She teased him about how bad airplane snacks are. He joked that maybe airlines secretly want us to suffer, so we forget to complain about ticket prices. They laughed, and the laughter felt easy. Here's the thing. Sometimes you spend years with someone and never feel seen, and sometimes, in a crowded airport lounge, a complete stranger sees straight into your soul. That's what this felt like. He saw her, she saw him, and in that strange little corner of the world, it felt like home. Time melted away. Hours felt like minutes, until overhead the boarding call broke the spell. His flight, not hers. Silence fell between them. You know that silence? That heavy one, where your chest aches because you know something beautiful is about to end before it even began? Yeah, that's silence. He wanted to ask for her number. She wanted to give it. But here's the question. Would turning this into a real-life contact ruin the magic? Would they become just another name in the phone you never call? Maybe it was better to leave it untouched. Perfect in memory. But life doesn't wait. His gate was closing. He stood up, suitcase in hand, heart racing. She forced a smile, but her eyes whispered louder, "I'll miss you." He wanted to hug her, kiss her, say something that would stop time. Instead, he leaned closer and with a soft, almost trembling voice said, "Maybe fate will be kind." And then he turned and walked toward the gate. She watched him disappear into the line of passengers. Her chest felt tight. How could someone who was a stranger an hour ago feel like someone she couldn't imagine losing? She blinked back the sting in her eyes. And then, just as she thought it was over, he turned. One last look. Across the distance, their eyes locked again. No words, just a silent promise. He lifted his hand in a small wave. She bit her lip, trying not to cry. And then he was gone. The lounge returned to noise, boarding calls, chatter, rolling luggage, but to her it all felt hollow. She sat back down, alone again, but changed. because now her heart carried something new, a longing, a missing, a broken heart born from a love that never had a chance to live. And yet, hope. What if she saw him again? What if fate really was kind? Because sometimes love doesn't need years to grow. Sometimes it only takes a few hours, a smile, a laugh, and a goodbye that cuts deeper than any hello. So let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone like that? Someone who entered your life like a storm and left you wondering forever, what if? If this story touched your heart even just a little, then you'll love the next one. It's about a childhood crush that comes back years later as an adult. Trust me. That reunion is filled with surprises you don't want to miss. Click here to watch it, and maybe, just maybe, you'll start to believe that fate has a funny way of bringing hearts back together.